Enviroscapes and one of our leaders. So Ed, why don't you go ahead and say hello to everyone, give us a little bit of an overview of yourself, the organization, and introduce our next speakers.
Great, thank you, Mike. And thank you everyone participating in this event. I'm Ed Blanner, co-founder and CEO of Enviroscapes. We do primarily ecological restoration, wetland restoration, stream bank restoration, erosion control measures. Primarily we work in New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware. As of March 21st of this year, we're now in business in 30 years, so long coming. We've been a sustaining member of SAME for almost 13 years now, and it's been an absolute pleasure. I've had the opportunity to work with wonderful people. In fact, looking at the list of sponsors, I've been blessed to work with WSP, Stantec, HDR, Sevenson, Western Solutions, Dewberry, Matrix New World, Sovereign Consulting, Princeton Hydro, and Renova. And actually, I'm a client right now through a prime contractor with the Department of Military and Veterans Affairs. So Mike and Mike, thank you very much for allowing us the opportunity to work for your organization. As I said, I've been a member of the Post for almost 13 years. It's been a wonderful experience. I encourage people to join. I think it's a really good networking opportunity. It's an obvious good networking opportunity. And not only for large business, but certainly for small business like myself. I run the Small Business Committee, and that's been a wonderful opportunity for small businesses to interact and also to get to know large business, which is, part of the program and how we can grow. With that said about me, I'd like to do formal introductions of our two speakers, which I'm so pleased to have them participate in this presentation. Colonel Michael Lyons, retired U.S. Army, enlisted in the Army National Guard in 1985 and was commissioned through the Officer Candidate School program at the New Jersey Military Academy in 1988 as part of Class 31. He received his bachelor's degree in finance from King's College in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania in 1990. He is a graduate of the Ordnance Officer Basic Course, Ordnance Officer Advanced School, Combined Armed Service Staff School and Command and General Staff College, and a 2012 graduate of the U.S. Army War College. After retiring from the military in 2018, and Michael, thank you for your service to our country, Mr. Lyons was selected to serve as a Deputy Construction and Facility Manager officer as a DoD civilian working with the New Jersey Department of Military and Veterans Affairs. There is so much more in his profile that is very impressive, but obviously time constraints here. But Michael, thank you. Mr. Michael Rhodes, our also speaker, was born and raised in New Jersey. He attended Rider University, where he received a bachelor's degree in finance. His professional career began in the financial industry and eventually moved to the construction sector. He worked for over 10 years as project manager for an electrical contracting firm before moving to state government. Mr. Rhodes serves the New Jersey Department of Military and Veterans Affairs as a contracting officer, overseeing construction projects as a contract administrator. In his position, he is the main point of contact concerning matters of public bidding, award, and contracting procedures relative to construction and professional services contracting. He provides oversight of contract process and subsequent delivery of material and services are according to all state and department rules and regulations regarding the same. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our two speakers, Mike Lyons and Mike Rhodes. Gentlemen.
Thank you. Mike, I think you're muted.
Let's see if we can. I think we're getting unmuted or someone's dog's barking.
That's mine.
Okay, good.
I'm not seeing him as muted. He's muted on his side. I sent a request.
Okay.
Okay, you're both showing as unmuted.
Yeah, my audio is fine.
Can you move forward while he gets his audio working?
While we're waiting, I can at least do the introduction here in terms of the title of this presentation, Doing Business with the New Jersey Army National Guard, Federal and State Funded Projects, Executed with State Contracts. And as I was saying before in my earlier presentation, I've had the opportunity to work over at the New Jersey National Guard Armory at Siegert for DMAVA. Mike, have you been able to work out the logistics?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for Colonel Lyons to text back real quick to see if he wants me to push forward.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we need to.
Yeah, I know. Sorry about this.
Can we skip ahead to your slides?
All right, so we can go ahead with the slides.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Ed, thank you for the introduction. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right, so we can just skip through these slides here.
Where do you want me to go?
All right,
Mike,
so
I want to just read through them. I mean, until Colonel Lyons gets on, it might be worthwhile just reading through them.
and I'll go through. So again, we're the New Jersey Department of Military and Veterans Affairs, also referred to as DMAVA. And under the department, we actually work in the Construction Facilities Management Office, CFMO. Go ahead. All right, so in the Department of Military and Veterans Affairs in the CFMO shop, we're responsible for sustainability and maintenance of 3 veterans homes, 2 veterans havens, which are homes for transient veterans, 1 cemetery. We also take care of the Air National Guard 177th Atlantic City Fighter Wing and the 108th ARW at Joint Base McGuire-Dix Lakehurst. Personally, what we actually take care of is 30 National Guard armories, 6 vehicle maintenance shops, 3 different enclaves at Joint Base McGuire-Dix Lakehurst, and 1 training site, which is at Siegert, New Jersey, which Ed referred to. And at that facility, we have roughly 60 buildings. So we really encompass a lot of buildings under our control that we're responsible for maintenance, repairs, restoration, and then development of new space for our National Guard personnel. Next. All right. So in order to do business with our CFMO shop, you need to be registered first to do business with the state of New Jersey.
Hold on, Michael. I apologize. We're getting a lot of feedback. I know you got multiple computers going on, but one of them's going to have to go off. Go ahead, Mike.
Okay. So again, doing business with the state of New Jersey, there's multiple steps with multiple agencies. So hopefully I can help you navigate the process, give you some insight on properly registering your business, and also with some of the agencies allowing the proper time to get registered prior to bidding on some of our contracts. So the first step is to work with the Department of Treasury to actually register your business, register with NJ Start, which I'll go to in more detail, register with the Division of Property Management and Construction, and finally register your business with the New Jersey Department of Labor and Workforce Development. All right, so under the Department of Treasury, there's the Division of Revenue and Enterprise Services, or DORIS. All businesses that want to do business in New Jersey must register with Doris and pay a $125 fee for all profit entities, and a $75 fee if it's a nonprofit corporation. However, most of the ones that will be doing business with us would be a for-profit corporation. The form that needs to get filled out would be an NJ Reg form. So if you take note of that, www.nj.gov/treasury/revenue, that will bring you to the site and gives you some good guidance on how to register your business if you're not already registered to do business in New Jersey. All right, so this is basically when you hit their website. This is the registration page. It's pretty self-explanatory to follow that through. We go to the next slide. All right, this is one that is critical. New Jersey has moved away from their old system of doing business with vendors, and they now have a new website called New Jersey Start. All vendors that want to do business with New Jersey need to be registered with NJ Start first. So once your company is registered in New Jersey, the second thing you need to do is register with NJ Start. This classifies your business into commodity codes, and it also allows the state of New Jersey to pay you. So if you go to www.njstart.gov, there is a registration link right there. It's a pretty simple registration. They're just looking for information about your corporation, corporate location, things like that. And also they're looking for some North American industry codes and classifying your company. And that will allow you to do business with not only the DMAVA CFMO, but also other state entities as well. Next. Once you're registered with the state to do business with the state and registered with NJ Start, in order to do business with our shop as either a construction company or an A&E firm, you need to be registered first and qualified by the Division of Property Management and Construction, DPMC. If you go to DPMC's website, which is nj.gov/treasury/DPMC, you'll see there on how to do business with DPMC, and there's forms, and you're specifically looking for the form DPMC 27. Registering with DPMC and getting qualified, this takes time. This is not an overnight process. They're looking for information on your company. They're looking for your project experience. They want to see in detail as many projects relevant to what you're looking to do in New Jersey as you can possibly show them. And then also, the other thing that takes a long time is they're looking for certified financial statements for the last 3 years. They're going to be looking for bonding requirements and your capabilities. Once you're registered with DPMC, DPMC will give you a DPMC qualification letter, and it will give you basically an amount of money you're qualified to bid on. You may get a qualification for $1 million. You may get a qualification for $3 million. I know there's firms out there that are qualified for 999,999,999,000, which means they can bid on any project. Next slide. So as I said, and most of the language here is right from DPMC's website, but what we're looking at right here is basically what they're looking for is your financial statements, your organizational experience, how long has the company been in business, do you have an affirmative action program, a statement as to your bonding capacity if you're in the construction end, if you're a professional services company, architects, engineer, an environmental services company, they're not looking for bonding. Next slide. So for A&Es, again, before you can compete for consulting work on state construction projects, the firm's qualifications must be verified by DPMC. There's specifically for A&Es, there's a consultant pre-qualification form 48A that's available on their website. They will review everything. They're pretty good about working with companies to get them registered because we're looking always for more companies to be registered to do business in New Jersey and be qualified from DPMC. Next slide. And then finally, you need to register with the New Jersey Department of Labor and Workforce Development. And simply this is for construction firms to make sure that you're paying prevailing wages in New Jersey. And also, this is where you will remit some of your employer taxes if you have a nexus doing business in New Jersey. And before I turn it back over to Colonel Lyons, another website that you need to look up, and unfortunately they're just not the greatest at this, and we're trying to push this along. The governor's office is pushing this along, but the office that does this just is kind of missing some marks here. But you're looking for the New Jersey Savvy Database, which is the New Jersey Selective Assistance Vendor Information Database. This is where we're looking for more vendors that are veteran-owned businesses and service-disabled veteran-owned business to do business with our shop specifically. So if you Google NJ and then Savvy, S-A-V-I, and again, I'll put this in the chat so everybody has it. This is where you want to go to register if you fall into one of those classified groups, or if you're a minority-owned business or a women-owned business or a small business. And this is where we typically get our set-asides from. So with that, I'm going to turn this over to Colonel Lyons to kind of talk about what we have going on right now with DMAVA and the CFMO shop.
Okay, can you hear me now? I am sorry. I apologize. I don't know why that other computer was working well this morning when we tested it, but it did not work when I needed it. So I switched over to a laptop that unfortunately the camera is not working on. So I'm hiding on you.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
Hear you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Okay, just I guess to backtrack a little bit, I'm not sure if Mike caught this at the beginning, but I just want to say, you know, the New Jersey Department of Military and Veterans Affairs is the division in the state government that oversees both the state veterans activities and the National Guard. Governor Murphy announced yesterday that Colonel Lisa Howe is now our new commissioner. In that role, she serves as both the Commissioner of Veterans Affairs and Commander of the 8,200 Army and Air Guard members. And both Mike and I work in that construction and facility management office, which is predominantly focused on the Army Guard mission, though we do get involved in the Veterans Affairs side. And the National Guard is obviously has both a federal and state mission, but the facility program of the Army Guard is very much a state activity. It's state executed, but with federal support. And they do that through the Master Cooperative Agreement or Master Construction Cooperative Agreement. And that activity, that cooperative agreement, is how the funding gets down to it. It's a lot different than using a grant because it involves a lot more federal involvement. And that's why I'm a federal employee working in state government alongside a lot of state employees. The department, as Mike probably covered, there's three main activities: the veterans, the Air Guard, the Army Guard. The Air Guard, you're going to see a lot of their contracts on the federal side, but the veterans, VA funded projects, and the Army Guard activities, you will see, as Mike showed you, in those state procurement systems. I think you can skip to the next 2-3 slides. I think these are just more of Mike's, where you can find our projects and such. But now I'm going to cover some of the upcoming projects, and I'm sure these are some of the projects that might catch your interest. Upcoming construction work that we have getting ready to advertise. This first project is an FY21 MILCON project. The funding was appropriated in 21, and it is the project is right around, I'd say, 95% design approval. I think we received this week. We have National Guard Bureau is doing the final review of our bid documents. We expect to have this out on the street in the next couple of months, and we expect to have a contract award no later than 30 September. It's going to be right off Route 539. If you're familiar with the 2008 and 9 MILCON projects, we did about $58 million worth of construction at the Lakehurst site for the Army Guard back then, and then the Army Reserve did a large equipment consolidation site adjacent to our project. It's going to be right on that same footprint. And the next project is our civil support team. This is what we anticipate an FY22 UMMC project that we're almost looking to do almost an add-alt to that 21 MILCON project. We're still waiting. I think the last I heard is I just heard yesterday that they still expect the President Bud for 22 to be announced on May 17th. And we should know by then or soon after whether this project is funded for 22, and it's unspecified amount of MILCON. But once again, it's a 100% federally funded. It's being built on federal land, but it'll be a state contract vehicle that awards this project. All right, next slide, please. This next project is funded through ERCIP. Right now, we believe that it's on the ERCIP 23 FIDIP, but we expect that, we're hoping that this might get accelerated, or that it might get included in any stimulus or infrastructure bill that's being considered right now. I know that there's a lot of talk about putting energy efficiency and energy resilience projects into that bill. It is 100% designed, NEPA ready. So we believe that if we receive funding, we could have this advertised within 30 to 60 days and be ready for award. The project basically right now, unlike a lot of bases, the National Guard Training Center in Siegert, it's about 140 acres. We own the electrical grid. It's antiquated. It's to, I guess, a 4.6 kV electrical power distribution system that's all above ground. We're looking to replace it with a 12.47 kV system and put it all underground. If you have been to Siegert or been around it in the last, I guess, since Hurricane Sandy, we've probably poured about $80 million into the campus. With MILCON, mostly 100% federally funded projects. We've $24 million in the Disaster Appropriations Act to replace some of the structures that were on Stockton Pond that were moved higher, moved inland. And we built a $38 million regional training institute there. And we've had numerous SRM renovations projects. Took the dining facility, put a standing seam metal roof on it, and did a complete facility renovation for about $6 million. So this is really looking to harden that campus and bring the utility grid up for future construction. It's not only the New Jersey Army National Guard on the post, but it's probably one of the premier law enforcement training centers in New Jersey. We have the state police run their initial entry academy here and some continuing service classes. Department of Juvenile Justice, Department of Corrections, just about any state law enforcement agency, and some federals use our agencies also use our pistol range at the end of the beach. Next project, please. This is we don't expect construction funding on this project till FY24. This will be funded by the Veterans Affairs, 100% funded by VA. But we do expect a design contract to be awarded or advertised within the next coming weeks. The full design estimate is going to be 1.5 million. And while the actual design work is only a fraction of that, there is probably close to $1 million worth of environmental compliance tasks that will be advertised as part of that design package. And like I said, that will be out advertised within the coming weeks. And there's also an anticipation that the construction could get accelerated as part of the design, the infrastructure bill. The last projects I'd like to cover is our multi-year barracks renovation efforts at Siegert. We have built a brand new regional training institute with a lodge, but we have barrack space for in the neighborhood of 800 soldiers or trainees. All the barracks are kind of single-story, low buildings that we're looking to put standing seam metal roofs on, put in modern HVAC systems, and we are currently 2 of the buildings are under construction. We have 2 that we expect to have awards before the end of this fiscal year, and then we have 4 others that we are 3 others that we are looking to do somewhere in FY22 or 23, or maybe sooner if we receive additional funding through an infrastructure bill. Each one of these buildings we're putting at least $1 million into. So we do have a lot of work going on at Siegert and a lot of opportunities. And that basically covers the upcoming projects I have. Once again, I apologize for my technology issues at the beginning. I hope I could have done a better job answering some of the questions and how we channel money through federal appropriations down and award state contracts. And hopefully maybe some of you would take interest in going through this NJ Start and the DPMC approval process for being able to bid on some of these opportunities. So I'm
And-
open to any
And
questions.
I've also just put in the chat my email address. If you have any questions on registering or questions on how to do business with us, please feel free to reach out to me. Send me an email, and we can interface. I know sometimes dealing with a lot of the state agencies can be a little daunting, but I can help you through the process. All right, so we have a question. Is your environmental contract going to be rebid soon? There are multiple environmental contracts, so I guess we would need to know what contract would that be specifically?
It's in reference to asbestos.
Asbestos. So that contract, I believe, was a state contract that we bought off of. Again, what makes this a little more unique than other state agencies is because we are using federal dollars and federal Department of Defense dollars. We have our own contracting authority. A lot of other state agencies need to go through the State Purchasing Bureau or Department of Property Management and Construction. The only reason that we use them is just to qualify our vendors. Yeah, Susan, if that's a state contract, if you're registered with NJ Start, you can always send them an email. Susan, if you want to send me an email, I can maybe find out what the story is with that contract and when it would be going out to bid. There should be a state contract manager that works for Division of Purchase and Property. All right, very good. So, just email me, Susan, and I'll see what I can do to help you out with that, with finding out that information on that contract.
Okay, are there any other questions for Mike and Mike?
Okay. Well, thank you, gentlemen. That was great information, as expected.
And thank you for hosting this event today. It was very good. We're really happy to be able to be a part of this.
Great. It was great to have you.
Let me just add too, last year, in the last several years, we've had the opportunity to do some STEM programs at your facility at Siegert. So we thank you for allowing us to participate with that and get to work with a lot of the National Guard and State Police children and their students that are out there. So that's been a wonderful event for SAME and hopefully for your group as well. So we appreciate that.
Yes,
And
and
lastly, I didn't realize you guys had
because of COVID, that's all had been suspended,
Yeah, but prior to that, it was a really wonderful program.
Right.
And I did not realize that you guys actually, as you pointed out, have over 42 facilities that you manage in New Jersey alone. So that's a lot of property to cover and a lot of potential opportunities for our members.
Yep, for
There's-
sure.
There's about 200 structures on 42 locations and about 3 million square feet of mixed-use real estate. And that's just the Army Guard. The Veterans Affairs, obviously, with the 3 nursing homes, has some significant infrastructure too.
Yeah.
And we're doing
Great.
wetland restoration there, so I'm happy.
Great. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
It's by my clock,